This is the Making Waves Mindset Show with your hosts, Richard Biase
and Dave Moskowitz. Learn from our journey as we share the ups and downs
of being your own boss.
Well, welcome everyone to another fine edition of the Making Waves Mindset Show.
Yes, welcome. Thank you for subscribing. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for watching us on the YouTube and the many different platforms of audio. And thanks for hitting that little button and sending in those comments. As usual, if you are following us, then you know the story. You know what we're doing. We know what we're talking about. And you know where we're going. This is our venture into leaving the 9-to-5 and getting into entrepreneurship, into business, and speaking to people who are ahead of us, who are behind us, who are just getting into it, or who are at the same zone as us that we are trying to build that tribe. So as I always say, if you are enjoying this, please share it amongst your friends, share it amongst your family. If you don't like an episode, share it anyways. Someone else might like it and want to listen to our voices and our beautiful guests.
Absolutely. If you are struggling with some decisions in business and life, fitness, wellness, motivation, this is where we have an incredible community, incredible guests, and it's just an exciting journey to have perspectives from everyone else and how that can hopefully align for you in your business ambition. So without further ado, Dave, take it away. We have somebody who is very familiar to the Making Waves Mindset Show.
Going back almost a year and a bit ago, we had our inaugural guest, Nicole Salmon, episode 6. Go listen to it. We will do a little recap, but what we are going to do is have the awesome privilege of sitting down with Nicole Salmon again. And thank you, Nicole. How are you doing today?
We're good. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming. Yeah. Thanks for returning.
Right?
Episode 6 was probably, it was our first. You were our first guest. You definitely christened the podcast with your story and your venture and your heartfelt emotions. It was a great episode. We loved hearing about your story. Maybe if you want to just dabble into who you are, where you're from, what you're doing, and then we'll jump into where you've come.
Right.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, I kind of started my business purely by accident. It was Christmas 2019, and I was walking through the aisles of my local craft store, and my mom always wanted one of those really like fluffy, chunky knit blankets. And there it was, saw the yarn and thought, hey, let's give it a shot. So kind of made a Christmas gift and posted it on my personal social media Instagram account. And then I had a friend say, hey, did you make that? And said, yeah, I did. And asked me if I could make one for them. And then another friend asked, and another friend asked, and then another friend asked. And it was kind of like, hey, you should make a business out of this. And fast forward to only a few weeks later, it was mid-January, and Knick Knack Knits was born. It's just kind of snowballed from there, and then
firecrackers
blew up.
Right? Yeah. And I have to admit, I have enjoyed 2 of your Knick Knack Knits blankets.
Yeah.
They are very, very cozy. I take a nap with them almost weekly.
Daily? You and Oakley?
See, I would say weekly. Natalie, my wife, she would be like daily. She sleeps with them every single day.
Every day, yeah.
They're very cozy, very durable too, which is great.
Yeah, dog proof, right?
Yes, they are. They are very dog proof.
Yep.
Well, for our listeners, our subscribers, if you want to listen, please go back episode 6. It's earlier on in our podcast episodes. Scroll all the way down in your Spotify or in your Apple. Episode 6, have a listen, and you can learn a lot more about Nicole and that journey. So now that we've sort of done that little intro, what has been going on? Lots of good stuff, right?
Lots of good stuff. Oh man, where do I even begin? We've kind of blew up a little bit since.
Yeah, absolutely.
gone viral a few times. We've been in a few stores now. I've got my own yarn supply now, so that's even coming.
Wow.
Yep. So that's the most exciting part, I think, for me, is that now I'm going to be able to do my own distributing, my own supply. I don't have to, be victim to retail price gouging, because it's gone up now again because of inflation. So that's been an issue. And I think I've been one of the fairly lucky people to have found something so early on and been able to survive this whole inflation and kind of like the recession type thing that we're kind of going through. So that's been one of the biggest things, and not something I even really planned for. It was just, I wanted to be able to pass along savings to customers, and it wasn't even because of the economy or anything like that. It was just a kind of a happy coincidence. And lucky for me, I was able to actually find another Canadian small business to help support.
Incredible.
So I'm actually going through another Canadian small business who helps me get my supply and helps me with all of the sourcing of materials. And
No way.
It's just been super great. And another female small business.
Well, there you go.
So
there you go. Woo, woo.
Helping sisters out.
Yeah, for sure. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And so you were saying that it wasn't the economy that was pushing you that way. It was just because you wanted to pass on savings. How did that all come across? Like, what was the business decision that you made at the time that you were like, okay, I'm done with this avenue, I'm going this way?
Well, my original kind of supply is from a local craft store. So of course there's taxes, there's retail pricing, stuff like that. And the yarn that I use is not inexpensive by any means. It's one of the higher end price points that's out there. I think the next highest price point is actually like merino wool, which is super expensive. But I even went to like the company within the company that makes it. I went all the way straight up to the very top. Like there's umbrella companies within, and I waited and I emailed and I pretty much annoyed them till I finally got a response and said, hey, I'm a small business. I have a great following. I have a supply. I have demand. Like, can you do a wholesale? And I just got no.
Wow.
No reason, no nothing, just no.
No.
So
you know what? To that point, Nicole, what we've heard from so many guests is the persistency. It's you're not stopping at the no. You're constantly going back and asking again. And for the listeners and followers, that is what separates you from being an incredible entrepreneur and taking action to so many that don't, because they just stop at the no. You problem solve and go, I'm not stopping at that. I found a problem in the community amongst my following. I'm going to create my own brand. I'm going to look for another Canadian business, a female business, and I'm going to hammer as much as I can at trying to build that vertical integration. It's still some other business venture within your current expertise and scope, and you did it. Like this is what's so exciting. Like just in a year of talking to you, you've been able to go from doing this for friends, word of mouth, to now you have a connection and you're building a whole supply line, your own branding.
Yeah.
And you took
and
action.
that didn't take, like, it didn't happen overnight. This was pretty much like a year in the making.
Yes.
And it was a lot of research, a lot of searching, and a lot of trial and error too, because not everything is treated the same with quality and all that stuff. So I even found a better quality product and a better quality supply. So, I mean, like, even Dave, you know how cozy and comfy the blankets are. This is better.
Oh, well, see, I have to order 2 more then.
Yeah, he's like, this is even better. Like, I'm just like, I'm so excited for it. And, I even sneakily like tried them out. Like I used, well, I did. Like I wanted to try without telling people that, hey, like this is something new. I wanted to see if people actually had a genuine reaction to it. So it was a lot of trial and error and making stuff. And I even kept some stuff for myself. I made a blanket for my son, who's only 5. And it has tested and the durability, like everything has just been so great with him because like he's a 5-year-old boy. I mean, if you want to have like your products tested, give it to kids and see what happens to it. And that was the best thing that I could have imagined for it, was that it survived a 5-year-old and it still looks brand spanking new, and it's great.
Incredible.
So
That's awesome.
and I've even had a couple people reach out with me who have kids that are on the spectrum or something like that, who have sensory disabilities, or that's like the thing that helps them calm down, and it's actually helped them too. So the fact that I have a new like, it's even more than just new supply, it's the fact that I can actually like start to help people that have, you know, sensory issues and things like that, and actually helps them calm down, because it's like it's just that much softer. I'm just I'm so excited.
Yeah, that's awesome, because it's very textile. It's got grooves and holes, and it's nice. It's really cozy. I can't talk more about how cozy it is.
Cozy season.
Yeah, we were just talking about that for those listening. It's like September 1st, pumpkin spice latte season. It's fall. I think I put that on your post, Nicole. It's like, this looks so fall and cozy, and you know, you're going, right? It's like, this is the season, right? So
I'm done with summer. We're done with summer. I'm done with sweating. Like, bring me the leggings and the sweaters and the blankets.
I don't know about that.
Oh,
yes.
Dave and I want to be in the heat. We want to be where it's warm.
No,
total opposite.
I'm good for a little bit, but then when that heat wave hits, it's like, okay, unless I'm beside a pool, no, I can't be in a pool 24/7.
Yeah.
That's fair. So what are the kind of things that you got going on in terms of for the end of the year? Because I know something, I just don't want to release it.
We are going to be in the One of a Kind show.
There it is. Yes.
Wow.
This is like such a huge deal. I believe I'm going to be the only blanket maker there. So out of 500 to 600 other vendors, there is one of me. A little terrified, a little excited, a little praying, flying by the seat of my pants to get everything done. But you know, this feels like this is what I was working towards, and it's like it's come true.
Yeah.
So it's an 11-day show, and I actually got approved for the full 11 days. What most people might not know is that this is like, if you're not from Toronto, like this
let's
is
give
like
a little history on it.
This is like the Super Bowl. This is the Super Bowl of artisan makers and small businesses that can showcase their businesses, their products. It's kind of like this is where you aspire to be, and it's fierce competition. It's a whole process to get in. Application was extensive. Basically, you had to write essays, you had to give schematics, you had to give out plans, you had to tell them your process, even your secrets. You had to give up your secrets in order to even apply. And then it went to a jury. So a jury then looks over your application and your products and your social media, everything, and they got to see if it's a good fit. And it's not like it's, you know, you find out in a week. You apply months and months in advance. So I've actually been planning for this since February of this year. So, and it's not till November.
Incredible.
So it went to the jury, and out of everybody that applied, I got approved, I got accepted, and pretty much every single one of my products got approved as well. So
that's awesome.
It was unheard of, actually. Yeah.
So aside from yourself being there, you have the best of other artisan, creative, you know, doers like you from so many different spaces under one roof.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
You're the only one in.
Sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
It's not even just people from the area or Toronto. It's like all over Canada that come. So it's not just like people from the States can come. Like, it's almost like you can apply worldwide. So
yeah, it's massive.
It's massive.
It is. Yeah, it's
big
massive.
Deal.
And for those of you who are in Toronto, please visit. It is I go every year. They hold it
Dave, we'll
twice.
have to make a
Yeah.
Making Waves mindset visit. We'll
I
have to
know.
go together,
Yeah,
meet other
yeah.
incredible entrepreneurs.
It is actually a great place to go to find unique things.
Very
Unique things. I've gone every year. They hold it, like I was saying, they hold it twice a year. So the fact that Nicole is going to be there, it will be an effort for us to go twice a year now.
Yay.
But you'll find things, and I from paintings to just things you would never think of somebody making, just beautiful pictures, and wood making stuff, and leather making
Really?
stuff, and now
Wow.
cozy blankets from Knick Knack
Cozy
Knits,
blankets.
right?
Yes.
And it is an honor. It is.
Congratulations.
When I saw
Thank
Nicole
you.
post that, I was like, this is awesome for her. Amazing.
This was a big, and to keep it a secret too.
Right.
It's really hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's been the biggest part, because like I didn't tell anybody that applied, because it's like, what if I don't get in, and it's such a risk.
Sure.
And it was like acceptances were coming out, you'd hear from us, and we didn't know. And then it was like, oh man, I think you remember the stories that I went on when I did get in, and people were like, oh my gosh, she's crying, we don't know what's wrong, somebody thought something had happened. And I was like, no, I was just so excited that I was bawling.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I know in episode 6 we were talking a lot about how you were dealing with some mental health issues, and how this was assisting. How has the last year been in terms of business and mental health, and pushing forward through that? If you don't mind talking about it.
It's been way more difficult this year, because now, like, I work in a cardiac ICU full time. Knick Knack Knits is not my full time job.
Yet.
That's right.
That's right. And seeing the basically the aftermath of the pandemic is what we're in right now. So the burnout is extremely bad. I myself am severely burnt out. The stress that it was causing me started causing physical symptoms that I've never had before. I'm actually currently off right now because of mental health and stress. It was affecting my cognitive ability. I've had some memory loss, things like that. So we've been doing tests and things just to rule out everything. So luckily, like, there's been nothing on that end. We've had MRIs, we've had CTs, we've had all sorts of things. And the basic gist of it is that it's the stress that has been causing, all the cognitive disabilities. And it has affected my business, definitely. I did take about a month off of social media, off of posting on my account, things like that, just to give myself a break from everything. So I took a month off work, I took a month off social, I took a month off, even business stuff, just to kind of just give myself that time to recover, relax, and enjoy time with my family. I've got 2 little kids that need me, so I want to be there for my kids. But the aftermath of the pandemic is way worse than anybody even thinks about. Like, the news isn't talking about it. And it's just, whatever you think it is, it's 10 times worse. So
I think it's important, Nicole, that you recognize that, you can take a step back. This morning, Dave and I are always making little notes about what we can put on shows and stuff. And I'd written down a note about, putting a video out there, to the extent of, just because you don't see something on social media doesn't mean that you are not actively working your butt off behind the scenes on so many things, because we get caught up in, if it's not on social media, it didn't happen. There are so many successful people, yourself included, who, when they're not putting that stuff up there, or they're not even on social media to begin with, they're super successful. They may
Yeah.
not want to show that. They may need time off. And I think society expects so much from people, which adds to that extra stress. But you're
Yeah.
recognizing that. You're going, listen, I need to take a step back. It's summer, it's family time, your husband, your kids, the dogs, time to chill and time
Yeah.
to focus on that. And that's very important that you can self-reflect and notice that.
Yeah. And I find with people that have either never suffered with mental health issues or anything like that, the hardest step is actually just making that first initial step, saying, hey, I'm not okay. And I don't know what to do, but I know I need help. And even if you don't know what to do, even just saying those words out loud just means that you took that first step. And that is, in my experience, is always just the hardest part. Everything else is just like the relief that you feel after just admitting that it's like, okay, I'm not okay. Just the weight just comes off your chest, and like you immediately feel relaxed and better just by saying, hey, I am not okay. And you know, if you're someone like me, like I struggle to make phone calls and make the appointments and do that, so I'll be like, hey, to my husband, can you make the appointment for me? I'm not okay, I need you to make the appointment for me. Sure. Done. Talk to your spouse, talk to your parents, talk to your best friend, talk to, you know, anybody, because, you know, the biggest regret, if you've ever lost somebody, was that I wish they told me. I wish they knew that they could come to me. I wish that, you know, that they would have just spoken up. And it's like, yeah, that is just the hardest part to do, is just to say, hey, I'm not doing well. And whether it's just a bad day or it's a bad week or a bad month, anything, that is the hardest part. And once that step is done, smooth sailing.
Yes.
You start to do the work, and the work isn't even that hard. You start to feel better, and it's just
The weight's off your shoulders.
the weight is off.
You feel like you can breathe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like even just there, it's like, oh, that big sigh, right? Like you don't even realize that you do it. But and the resources out there for mental health because of the pandemic has increased so much. Like the best thing that came out of this was that people started talking about their mental health a lot more.
Right.
And it feels like that stigma is finally starting to go away a little bit, especially in like the frontline staff and frontline workers and cops and firefighters and nurses and anybody in between. Like, you know, the pandemic affected everybody. So like we even had like the porters in our hospital, they saw it too. Like even, you know, it affected everybody.
Sure. Yeah. You definitely in those kind of circumstances, especially first line. I say the first line of defense, but like the people who are in the front lines, right? The hospitals, the doctors, the nurses, the police, fire, and ambulance, the people who are working in the hospitals,
too.
dispatchers. Anyone basically dealing with the public, and even the public themselves, but ultimately the people who are seeing everything. You don't realize what you're seeing until it actually builds up, and then it affects you in various ways. But you bring great points, and self-reflection, that's probably one of the biggest things. And especially, you know, the fact that you can remain cognizant of your self-reflection and ensure that your business continues, and you saw that I need to continue this business, but I need to have this mental break so that I can take care of me, myself, my family, and then move forward successfully after. That's probably one of the biggest points here that I just wanted to focus on, the fact that you were able to identify that and move forward.
Yeah. And trust me, like, you know, you feel like you've done all this work, and then you have like, you know, you do need to take that break. And it's hard. I'll be honest, it's hard not to feel like you failed a little bit. But again, you can only go forward when you do that work.
Yeah.
So unless you want to keep going backwards and backwards and backwards, you do have to actually admit to yourself, yeah, okay, we need to take a break and do that. So it's hard not to feel that way. And it's a totally valid feeling, because you feel like you do all this work, and then when something that you've been doing stops working, you do have to pivot and see what else you can do.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, You go to therapy, you go to therapy, you go to therapy, and then it's like, okay, maybe I just need to take a break from therapy for a minute just to kind of give myself a break from even doing the
Yeah.
work. You know, sometimes it's like you feel like you've been working, and it's like, okay, let's just see where we're at and see where the dust settles and see where we can go from there. And that's okay too.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like, if you don't recognize that those things need to happen, you're never going to go forward anywhere in your life. It doesn't matter with your family, your business, like personal, doesn't matter. Like you do have to be mindful of those things, and admitting it is not a bad thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
Nicole, do you feel that, the self-talk that we always hear as entrepreneurs plays a big role? Because a lot of people doubt their strengths, they doubt their ability to succeed. I'm not good enough. I'm not able to do this. Do you know, for you, if that played a role in pushing yourself through this? And, here we are coming to November to this one of a kind show going, look at what I accomplished because I believed in myself despite all this.
You know what? The one thing that has really given me the confidence is my community. I went on my stories and I kind of put it all out there and said, hey guys, I'm not doing so well and I'm going to take some time back. And the thing about what I've created with my business and my social media account is that I've created, at least I hope people perceive it as a community. And it's not about, making crazy amount of sales and going viral and doing all these things. It's my community that I've created. And that community had my back 100%. There was so much outpour of support, and people just cheered me on, and people said that they would be here waiting for me when I got back. And a lot of my other small business friends even said, if I can help in any way, I'll help you no matter what. Like, tell me what I can do. How can I help you? How can we get this going? Like, you tell me what you need and we'll be there. And it wasn't one person or two people. It was a group of people, and like the small business community and makers and everything that helped me get through that. Like, that's just an invaluable thing that, like, just not going to cry on this one. We're not going to cry on this one. But you know what I mean? Like, they just, like, the amount of support and the amount of people that told me how proud they were of me, it was just unbelievable. Like, I've never had such an outpouring of support before. And, just to have that, I'm trying so hard not to cry.
And we talk about that a lot, is building your tribe, right? And it's building and being surrounded by people who are going to actually bring you up and help you out when you're down and motivate you and give you that push and give you that energy that you need to get through things. And that's what you've built, is that tribe, right? Dustin Sedler said it the best on our show. Your vibe is your tribe, or your tribe is your vibe.
Yeah.
By the way, I think I screwed it up. Your vibe is your tribe is your vibe. Either way, it's the people you hold around you that are going to make sure that you succeed, because you have the right people around you, and you don't have those naysayers. Because rewind 10 years maybe in your life, and you would have tried to do that. You may have not had that support. You may have not had those people around you. You may have not had the proper channels, but organically you've built that tribe who were able to assist in pushing you and helping you and giving you that motivation to want to get through and help yourself out, which is amazing.
And even just letting me know that they would be there when I decided, when I decided to come back.
Sure.
That they were willing to just, let me have that time and let me have that space was even monumental in everything too, because it's like, okay, it's not going to go bad. It's not going to go away. Everything that I worked for isn't just going to disappear overnight.
Right.
People and friends and community all just said, we'll be here.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be here when you're ready. And that was just something that I could never have anticipated. I just thought, okay, well, people want this and they want fast. Like social media is always like, you're always consuming. So it's like, if you're not consuming it, then, then you're gone.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
The pressure to always show up and the pressure to always be online, makes it feel like you can never take that step back. You can never slow down. It's like you've always got that hustle mindset, and it's definitely not the case when you build a community and you're authentic and you're genuine in how you create your business. Like that's just the way it, like, it's more, like you said, it's more organic, it's more authentic, and that's the thing. It's the truth. And it was just nice to have that support, and I just like couldn't have asked for a better community, that's for sure.
That's awesome. The word that you took right out of my mouth, the word authentic, right? Being authentic is the way you run your business and the way who you are, and being authentic is what draws the people to you.
Yeah, like this is me. This is who I am.
Yeah, it's who I am. It's who you are, right?
Yeah.
And I on a personal note, I can vouch for this is who you are.
Yeah.
We've broken bread together, so we know.
We have, yeah.
But that's awesome. That's such a good story. It's educational for people who are listening. It's okay to be not okay. It's okay to show who you are and be authentic, and in efforts to make sure that you are mentally okay and that you're able to run your business and you're able to run your life, right? And vice versa. It doesn't make it, your business is not running your life and your life is not running your business, right?
Exactly. There is a hard balance to find, but I find that if you are who you are, like it's not that difficult. So it's like, like even just yesterday, it was like we had an errand running day. So it was like, you know what? Okay, kids, come on. We had a car picnic in the trunk, and it was like between doing deliveries and stuff like that. Like that's just, you make things work. So
yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So what's the plan for a year from now? When we have you on for a third time,
for the third time,
what are we gonna hear?
Worldwide, international.
I really am trying hard to do that one.
We gotta
that
get
still
some
needs
people.
A lot of research.
Gotta get some people from Iceland to get your.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's cold there.
Yeah.
Maybe there's someone listening, because we're hitting, Nicole, international audiences. Every continent on the earth has listened, downloaded to the show. Maybe there's someone out there who knows somebody in the supply chain or the world that could pull you and your product and your passion to some other warm, cool destination.
Slide into my DMs, people.
That's right.
So good.
Yes. Yeah. If you are listening to this from a cooler country or just a country that needs some more cozy blankets, slide into Nicole's
slide
DMs.
into the DMs. But in a year, I'm thinking I want to have my own storefront. That's
awesome.
That's
incredible.
A big goal. That
awesome.
That has kind of slowly been in the works, but it takes a lot longer than you would think. So, and I think, Dave, I think you know that
brick and mortar.
Trying to find brick and mortar space is not as easy as one would think. There's a lot of hoops to jump through, a lot of red tape, a lot of stuff that you don't know about, a lot of learning.
Yeah.
So
very much
just trying to find something that'll work for family life, business life, that sort of thing. So,
amazing.
So far, everything has happened organically and at the right time. So, I just got to have faith that it'll happen when it happens.
It will.
Always kind of got to be on the lookout for things, but I feel like when it's meant to be, it'll be. So that's
things happen.
The end goal is to get a little brick and mortar store and do that, and maybe have some of my little biz besties with me, and never
we'll
say
stop
no to
in.
that. Yeah,
we'll stop in. We'll bring the tea for you, and Dave and I will have the coffee. So.
Yeah.
Maybe
we'll do a little supply of mugs.
Yeah, we'll do a little on the scene recording in a year from now. in Nicole's shop.
That
Cozy
would
up
be
with some
amazing.
chamomile and some cozy blankets
That's a
in the
goal.
corner, right? There you go.
That's
There you
a
go.
goal.
We'll say it right now. Right now, September 2nd, Friday, September 2nd, we're going to say in a year from now,
2023.
we're going to be live with Nicole.
Yes.
Awesome.
We're going to do that.
Right?
Yes.
Vision boards, right?
Vision boards.
Vision boards.
Very
We can put it
powerful.
up there.
Very powerful.
So give us some lessons learned for our listeners. Give us maybe your top lesson learned over the last
This
year.
past year, yeah.
So that people who are trying to get into business, people who are thinking of leaving that 9 to 5, people who are juggling like you are, juggling the 2 positions, the family, right? Everything. Give us your top lesson learned, or top 2 if you can't decide.
Lessons to be learned. I find the number one thing is to just be you, be who you are. There is no one else out there like you. So even if you find inspiration from someone else and, you make apparel or you do pottery or you do this, there's all these things that are out there that the small business world makes. There's no shortage of makers, but there's only one you.
That's right.
And, people can go and buy blankets anywhere else, and people can go and do things somewhere else, and there's no shortage of things out there. But the reason why people will come to you and your business is you.
Mm-hmm.
So be yourself. If you're quirky, be quirky. If you're quiet and shy and timid, show up slowly, show who you are in little things. There's a ton of ways to show up, even if you are a little bit shy and a little bit introverted. I'm one of those introverted, extroverted people. Like when I'm at markets, I hate talking to people because I'm like, hi.
Don't filter yourself. Don't limit yourself.
Buy my stuff.
Yeah.
But people will always come back because they found common ground with you, or they resonated with you, or there's something. But there's only one you. There's only one you.
Love that.
And secondly, I would just say, you know what? Trust your gut.
Mm-hmm.
Follow your instincts. If something doesn't feel right, don't do it. If something feels, a little too good to be true, trust that gut. It's never steered me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And just like I said, build your community. It's more than just, more than money, and it's more than going viral and things like that. So it's that community that you want. It's the community that'll be there for you. And that is the biggest lesson that I find a lot of social media coaches try to portray and resonate to people. It's like, hey, you guys keep following me because it's me, and I keep giving you stuff because it's the way I show up. But it's not about, like I said, going viral and getting, 1.5 million views. It's not the amount of followers. It's not the amount of, things. It's people coming back to you and that community that you built. And that's really one of the hardest lessons for people to learn.
Right.
Is that it's not about the numbers. It's about you and the community, and that's the biggest lesson. Those lessons are the ones that are hardest for people to actually for it to sink in.
Yeah. Not about the money. That's the biggest one.
Not about the money. Yeah.
Don't do it for the money. And we've said that
money.
many times, and it's we can't harp it enough. If you're doing it for the money, it's the wrong reasons.
It's the wrong reason. Yeah. There's got to be a passion behind it. There's got to be a reason other than that. And my reason is that I have a very small family, and it's a bunch of mostly women that are left in the family, and it's strong women are who keep me going. It's being raised by two incredible women in my life, like my mom and my nana, and they're the ones that have helped and supported me. And now I'm showing my daughter how much my hard work is going into it and the passion behind it. And I see these little changes in her now, and it's kind of like, I'm doing something, and I'm doing something right. And
That's
it's
awesome.
great. It's so great to see.
That's awesome. And for our subscribers, go back to some of our episodes where we've had some very powerful women, and we've had some great episodes with some amazing women entrepreneurs and people in different avenues, from Soraya in health to Tamara Trotman writing books and
the spiritual
journey yourself. Go back to some of those episodes and have a listen, and you've hit the nail on the head, right? It's about pushing yourself, being authentic, and don't do it for the money, and be that person who someone else can look up to, like your daughter. That's awesome to hear. Amazing.
Yep.
Nicole,
Amazing.
Where can our listeners find you online? And if they're interested in purchasing websites, YouTube, social medias, this is the chance to share it with everyone. And if you resonate with Nicole, check her stuff out. It's incredible watching her reels and seeing what she's doing. It's you got to have like how-to videos on YouTube.
We're starting.
They're good classes,
We're starting. Yeah. Classes are coming. Are coming.
Dave and I will be there.
Yeah.
Let's make a Making Waves mindset blanket. Quilt going.
In-person classes are coming.
Oh,
I'm on.
Nice.
I know, I got secrets. You guys are getting all the secrets.
Oh geez.
That's good. That's good.
I'm on Instagram at Knickknack Knits. We're on Facebook, TikTok. Sort of. We're the elder generation on TikTok. And I have my own website, which is www.knickknackknits.com. I get emails, social, everything's there. And like I said, if you ever want to chat, you can always slide into my DMs.
There you go.
They're always open.
Right? We will link everything in our show. It is amazing to hear the growth that you've had over the last year, and we are so excited to continue this conversation in another episode for sure.
For sure. In my own store.
That's right.
Manifest it.
Right?
Absolutely. Well, Nicole, thank you so much for joining us again. And for all of our followers, our listeners, these are inspirational stories that Dave and I love to share, because we've talked about it before. We're probably, if not, have to be the only show out there that also covers the downs of being an entrepreneur. It's not all, as I always say, the Ferraris and the yachts and that everyone is so attracted to on social media and in life. There are a lot of downs, and to hear Nicole rebounding, climbing to the peak of the mountain is not just going to the peak. There's valleys, there's cliffs, there's challenges and obstacles, and Nicole is an exemplary role model in that realm. So we're so happy to have you on. As always, if you enjoyed this recording, please share it. If you didn't enjoy the recording, Dave, what do we tell our listeners?
Share it anyways. There's someone out there who wants to listen.
Dave, where can our listeners find? Thank you, Nicole. Thank you so much. Dave, where can our listeners find you?
I'm on Instagram and LinkedIn, David A. Moskowitz.
You can find yours truly, Richard Biase, on LinkedIn and Instagram. Until next time, continue to dream bigger, make waves, and
take action.
We'll talk to you on our next episode.